Hey everybody, it's Justin, your other guide into the other side. Let's jump right in. Today we actually have Legends of Tomorrow gaming team blog. I really want to cover this because it's like super critical to understanding what's coming for Otherside. So honestly, I'm just gonna kind of read through this post. It's really important. Otherwise, we had a blog update on April 18th where they cover vessel nesting. So you know, we obviously went through like the burn contracts, so you get the components of the new Otherside, you know, just the land, and you get the coda, or you get a Mara, you get a vessel, blah blah blah. So, you know, obviously here, OtherGuide expanded NFTs has many uses. It serves as the board for 2D web game Legends of the Mara. So, you know, in LoTM, you'll need at least one OtherGuide. You'll need an expanded OtherGuide actually, and you'll need either a coda, a Kodamara, you know, a Mara, which is either a hunter or a farmer. Obviously, the other enchanters will come out later, or you'll need a vessel, right? So vessels with the enchanter trait and the enchanter Mara have a special role, and they'll be related later. So here, you know, only one vessel can be nested at any given OtherGuide expanded at a time. So this is really critical because if you have like more than one, vessel, then if you want to get them all updated at the same time, you're going to have the equivalent amount of land to plant them on essentially. But if you have like one land and you have multiple vessels, then you have to go one by one. So obviously take accordingly. I would say it's probably better to choose the farmer if you want to mine the resources on your land. But if you have a hunter, if you want to participate in the gaming leaderboard, then it's probably better go with a hunter. But again, it's up to you. But this is actually the first initial post on the blog series, so obviously we're gonna have to check back for latest game materials. But we have this super interesting infographic here whereby it's one vessel per OtherGuide expanded, but it seems like your egg turns into a Mara afterwards. Pretty interesting. So we have April 25th, environment tiers and worker capacity. So it seems like they updated it. So environment tiers matter. So in Lord of the Legends of Mara, environment tier dictates the number of workers that you can have on them, and you can allocate as an OtherGuide. So this capacity limit only applies to those in hunter and farmer roles, and enchanters do not affect worker placement capacity. So it seems like if you have like environment tier 5, you have worker capacity of 5, so you could literally have like 5 hunters just fighting and getting yourself on that fighting leaderboard, or you could have farmers mining 4 of the resources at any given time. Seems pretty straightforward. But a coda can be assigned as a hunter, farmer, or enchanter on any given OtherGuide. So it seems like codas are really more powerful than the rest, and it makes sense because they're worth like a couple ETH. So you kind of get your worth out of them. Whether you should buy them or not, not financial advice. I'm not sure actually, so I'm not even saying anything about that. But it seems like the worker placement very interesting. So if you have like coda, farmer, hunter, you can allocate the slots here. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome. I feel like people are gonna min-max the crap out of this. Like people are gonna have lands that are like just primarily fighting lands, and then they're gonna have like other lands that are just farming lands. Just let me get that resource. Let me just equip up, do crafting and stuff like that. It seems like they're gonna do something like that in the future. Got another update here in May. So sediment tiers and fragments. Damn, they're really going through this. I haven't necessarily like looked at this. So this is kind of your first review, first experience with this. So in last updates, we shared how environment tiers affect worker capacity in Legends of the Mara. So tiers matter when it comes to sediment too. The higher your sediment tier, the more sediment fragments your OtherGuide will produce. Okay, so wow, that's interesting. So does that affect resources too? Not sure. OtherGuides with sediment tier 3 have the best production, while sediment tier 1 have the least. A farmer on an OtherGuide expanded enables fragment harvest and additional farmers and enchanters in hand. That's the production. Ooh. Regardless of production, the native sediments will always produce the same type of fragment. So the higher your okay, this is really interesting graphic. So the higher your sediment tier, the more sediment fragments your other dudes will produce. Sediment tier 3 have the best production, while sediment tier 1 have the least. Okay, so sediment has tiers as well. So that's different from environment. Okay. Farmer on OtherGuide Expanded enables fragment harvest. Additional farmers and enchanters enhance production. Okay. Regardless of production, the native sediment will always produce the same type of fragment. Very cool. Wow. Okay, so we got like a couple different kinds of fragments. Obviously, swamp, goo, atmos, stream, expanse. As for like functionality of each of these, I have no idea. Okay. May 16th, more than gameplay, the collector metagame. Okay, so they had Spencer Tucker break down the game of Legends of the Mara. So the strategy behind Legends of the Mara starts with the decisions we make as collectors. The game embraces a variety of different playstyles, which each with their own strategic advantages. The decisions you make as a Voyager will not only guide your journey, but will influence the experience of other players in the ecosystem. Okay, very interesting. So it seems like there's the hunter, there's the enchanter, there's the farmer, and then there's the anti-Maras, the anti-Kodas. Seems very antagonistic here. So there's 3 kinds of vessels: hunters, farmers, enchanters. Each can hatch into a corresponding type of Mara. However, since one vessel can be nested in OtherGuide Expanded, choosing which vessel to nest first will be one of the first decisions players will face. Very interesting. A nested vessel eventually evolves into a Mara. Pretty cool. Which can be assigned to an OtherGuide with your vessel nest. So you'll have an opportunity to combine with a seasonal catalyst and sediment fragments to evolve it into a Kodamara. Okay, that's interesting. Because there's obviously going to be some time where people, the game is going to open up. You're going to have that choice between the lands that you want to get. So I know some people are going to have like one land and then multiple vessels, or they'll have it just kind of makes sense that if you want to evolve multiple vessels, you have multiple lands. But obviously, not everybody has that financial capability. So if you're a budget player, if you're like premium player, whatever, I would say if you only got one land, you got one vessel, just pair those together, good to go. But obviously, you're gonna be like, well, what's probably gonna be the best for me? I'm not sure. It's gonna be quite the gaming experience, that's for sure. There's gonna be so many builds. I'm so excited for this. So seasonal catalyst, sediment fragments. Wow, it's gonna really change. Okay, so Kodamaras are a key part of the collector metagame. What they look like, trait rarity, and game function are all influenced by the Voyager's choices and how the community as a whole leverages the ingredients used to create them. Oh wow, so vessels are really important, and they kind of... I have no idea how that supply is going to function. Are they going to get really expensive? Or I feel like the market's going to determine... There's gonna be a lot of information arbitrage and opportunities for people to test out what's good, what's bad. There's gonna be a lot of min-maxing. Damn, so you have a lot of things influencing your Kodamaras evolution. So you got OtherGuide, you got the sediment, you got the vessel. That's gonna spit out a Mara. I heard that some of them are gonna be corrupted. I don't know. We have no idea. But obviously your Mara plus the catalyst. So obviously that's going to depend on the season. I think the seasons are touched on a little bit later in this article. But wow, you can choose from your Mara, you can choose from catalyst, you can choose the sediment, and then you can really play to whatever playstyle you want. Really do all that speculation. So Coda holders wield a distinct advantage. Codas skip the nesting process and are game ready for Legends of the Mara. They're always more powerful than Kodamaras. That makes sense considering they're like 5 ETH at the time of the making of this video. So that makes sense. But I think for the majority of people, that don't have a Coda or this is going to be something that is really, really exciting, because they're gonna have. Oh man, I it's gonna be so awesome. The Shattered. What is this? The Voyagers can deploy their Kodamara and Kodamara to defend the other side from the Shattered. Ooh, so they do define what these are. The mysterious titans that awaken shortly after the vessels descended. Their presence poses a threat to the Mara Koda and Otherside itself. The full extent of their power is still unknown. Ooh. Oh man, this is so exciting. Okay, so we know exactly what kind of like distinct antagonists there are. So sediment farming versus Battle of the Shattered. Farming is going to enable like a lot of the fighting and augment yourself forward. That makes a lot of sense. So Voyagers will have a choice between hunting Shattered for treasure and farming sediment fragments, or a mixture of the two. Why? Okay, so we kind of go into why we should farm sediment. Okay, the recipe for producing the rarest of Kodamara has been lost to time. Oh my god. ARPG gamers and like min-maxers are going to absolutely burst in excitement for this. So it's up to Voyagers to experiment to determine which combinations of seasonal catalyst, sediment fragments, and Mars will yield the best results. That's exciting. That is really exciting. Okay. So there's a cap supply of sediment fragments that Voyagers can gather, but once Voyagers combine sediment fragments with their Mara, sediments are returned to the global supply, effectively replenishing the amount available to farmers. In this way, the amount of sediment can collect in a given period of time will vary based on global activity. Ooh. Which effectively increases the strategic skills Voyagers need to employ to evolve their Mars for peak performance. The supply of seasonal catalysts will be limited to quantity, and each will have a differing effect on each type of Mara. You need to proceed with caution before evolving a Mara. The effects are irreversible. So is Mara supply limited? Oh, dang, yeah, probably. So, like, the ability for people to, like, determine, like, the rarest kind of other, Kodamara is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller over time. So that's probably going to get really expensive later. Ooh. Very interesting. Anyways, why Battle the Shattered? So when a Shattered is defeated, it leaves behind a treasure. The more efficiently it's defeated, the more rare and exclusive the treasure. Yo, that's crazy. That's gonna be like opening like RNG packs. That's kind of funny. Other D traits. So, will serve as a key for unlocking gameplay for Legends of the Mara, and its traits will affect strategy. For example, other deed environment tiers dictate possible Shattered rewards. Tier 1 other deeds will compete only against Tier 1 other deeds for a specific pool of Shattered treasures. Ooh. In future seasons, artifacts and resources will come into play, and more about each other deed traits meanings will be revealed over time. You want to fine-tune your strategies and meta that's constantly evolving based on your decisions of other Voyagers, and equip your other deed to wisely compete against them. Leaderboard. Dang, dude, this is gonna be crazy. Oh my gosh, this article is like super massive, but I guess we'll just recap everything thus far. I'll probably continue the rest tomorrow, but we covered nesting, so you're gonna be able to nest 1-to-1, and then we also have like environment tier capacity. So if you got like a worker capacity of tier 4, you're gonna want to make sure that you actually get all of those covered up and filled up to the brim with Maras and vessels and Kodas, obviously. And obviously Kodas have a head start when the game actually comes out to hit that leaderboard and get those treasures. Wow. And then we also have we have sediment tiers and fragments, so we get the foundation for getting sediments to feed Mars and evolve them into Kodamaras, so you can more efficiently play the end game, which is to fight the you evolve your Mara to go ahead and fight the Shattered, which will really produce the results and like you know, treasure that most people will eventually probably want to compete in. That makes the most sense. So everything just kind of moves to that peak. Min-maxers are going to just burst in excitement. This looks really cool. This looks really cool. I think this is probably gonna interact with other. This is insane. This looks like a loot box, to be quite honest. And we have other deer traits, and we have leaderboards. So I guess we'll just cover everything. It's getting super late. It's like 12:15. But hey, thanks for watching this far. If you're here, you know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. You know, we'll cover leaderboard and we'll cover, you know, all these exciting things, you know, next time. But until next time, see ya.